Deep in the heart of an ancient land stood a forest unlike any other. The villagers believed it was older than memory itself, older than their ancestors, older than the stories passed down around the fire. Every child in the village knew one rule: never enter the forest after sunset. Not because of wild animals, not because of thieves, but because the forest sometimes returned people who had already died. The villagers respected the forest. They gathered firewood from its edge. They hunted near its borders, but no one dared travel deep within its shadows after dark. Those who ignored the warnings were rarely seen again, and those who returned different. Among the villagers lived a young hunter named Kofi, strong, fearless, and perhaps a little too confident. While others listened carefully to the elders, Kofi laughed at stories of spirits and curses. To him, fear was nothing more than imagination. One evening, an elder called Kofi aside. His eyes were old and filled with wisdom. He pointed toward the forest. There are things in those woods that do not belong to our world. Kofi smiled. He had heard the warning 100 times before, and every time he ignored it. A few days later, disaster struck. Kofi's younger sister became terribly ill. Her fever burned hotter with each passing hour. The healer examined her and shook his head. There was only one cure: a rare plant called moonleaf. The problem was that moonleaf grew deep inside the forbidden forest. By the time Kofi prepared for the journey, the sun was already disappearing beyond the horizon. The villagers begged him to wait until morning, but Kofi refused. If he waited, his sister might die. Grabbing his spear, he stepped into the darkness. At first, the journey seemed easy. Birds sang overhead. Leaves danced in the wind. Everything felt normal. Then the last light vanished. Suddenly, the forest fell silent. No birds, no insects, no wind, only the sound of Kofi's breathing. Then he heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, directly behind him. Kofi stopped. The footsteps stopped. He turned around. Nothing. No one was there. Yet somehow, he knew he was not alone. After what felt like hours, Kofi finally found the moonleaf plant. Its leaves glowed softly beneath the moonlight. Relieved, he gathered enough to save his sister. Then he turned toward home and froze. Standing across the river was an old woman, her face hidden beneath shadows, her body perfectly still, watching him, waiting. Then she spoke. Kofi. His blood turned cold. He had never seen this woman before, yet somehow she knew his name. The old woman stretched out her hand. "Come closer," she whispered. Kofi remembered the warnings of the elders. Never answer voices in the forest. Never follow strangers after dark. Without another thought, he ran. Behind him, the voice continued. Closer and closer and closer. At last, Kofi reached the village. His sister received the moonleaf. By sunrise, her fever was gone. The village celebrated. Life returned to normal. As the years passed, Kofi convinced himself that the old woman had been nothing more than a nightmare. 10 years later, A traveler arrived during a storm. The moment he saw Kofi, he stopped. His face became pale. He stared in disbelief. Then he whispered words that silenced the entire village. Impossible. I attended this man's funeral. The villagers laughed. Surely the old traveler was mistaken. Then he reached into his bag. Slowly, he pulled out a necklace, Kofi's necklace, the same one he had lost in the forest 10 years earlier. The traveler claimed it had been buried with a dead hunter, a hunter named Kofi. That night, Kofi could not sleep. Questions filled his mind. Then, shortly after midnight, he heard a voice outside his hut, a voice he had not heard in 10 years. Kofi? The old woman had returned, standing in the darkness, waiting. The old woman smiled. Your time is over. You were never meant to live. The next morning, Kofi was gone. No footprints, no signs of struggle, nothing. Only his necklace remained, and to this day, the elders still warn their children. If something calls your name from the forest after sunset, do not answer, because some things that return from the darkness were never truly alive.